Now that the Book of Boba Fett Chapter 4 is out on Disney+, a lot of Star Wars fans around the world have been very impressed with how Kevin directed the new episode of the series, and how now we only have 3 episodes remaining until the season finale by John, Dave, and other directors out there. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way, guys, I am on Twitter at Mike01 if you guys want to go ahead and give me a follow on there. I do make sure to post a couple of entertaining things from time to time and really interact with you guys further. So it's even all the more exciting right now is that we really are in a very interesting phase of Star Wars, given that we are getting very close to the marketing run of the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV series, which is all set and ready to begin by this March, and that's going to prepare the release date for May of 2022. We also have, of course, the Mandalorian Season 3 that is getting very close to wrapping production and heading into post-production, so the Ahsoka Tano series is also set to begin filming by this April. There's a lot of things happening at the same exact time between George, John, Dave, Peyton Reed, Deborah Chow, and other creators out there really lending their hand in the Star Wars universe moving ahead. So, moving on from everything related to Star Wars, we already know that everything related to Kathleen Kennedy having trouble with the Acolyte TV series by Leslie Headland, ranging all the way over to how Dave Filoni is all set and ready to begin work on the Ahsoka Tano series. There's a lot of things being done that's really going to evolve the Star Wars brand even further with the new books, novels, comics, and video games that will be unveiled over at Star Wars Celebration this year. That's going to tie directly into the live action material, be it TV shows, movies, whatever it may be, even animated stuff as well. So on top of all of this, what's even all the more exciting has everything to do with actress Gina Carano, Jon Favreau, and Dave Filoni, and exactly what's been happening behind the scenes. Now, with both Disney and Lucasfilm now focused on their Star Wars universe with projects such as Kenobi, Ahsoka, and more on the way, creators Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are also beginning to work on a series of shows that will be unveiled at Star Wars Celebration. Now, further, it's described, however, that recently actress Gina Carano has been in the talks with both Favreau and Filoni on how to handle the Mandalorian Season 3 and 4, with certain Legends stories to be told. Now, further, it's noted that Gina knows quite a bit of Star Wars Legends from many years ago and recently convinced Favreau and Filoni to do something truly special for the fans around the globe. Gina recently pushed both Favreau and Filoni to continue the Skywalker lineage in The Mandalorian Season 4 and in future Star Wars TV shows. Now, it's described that it was Gina Carano who recently convinced both Favreau and Filoni to insert a young version of Ben Solo into the mandoverse, with John and Dave talking, of course, and taking many notes from Gina Carano personally on what to do with the new universe. This is all rooted to the fact that Gina listens to the fans on all types of social media and redirects the fans' wishes to both John and Dave, many of which are being fulfilled in the mandoverse as we speak. So, we actually talked about this lightly a couple of months ago of how Carano has remained very close with John and Dave and really serves as a messenger in a sense. We'll get to that in just a second. A messenger in a sense of delivering fan requests and what the fans really know about Star Wars and things that John and Dave may not really know all that much about and how that's going to be used further in the Mandoverse. Now, some fans don't really like it being called the Mandoverse, but we call it the Mandoverse based on projects that are based around the Mandalorian series. So far, the Mandoverse counts between The Mandalorian, The Book of Boba, Ahsoka, and other TV shows that are currently in development as we speak right now as well. Andor, Kenobi, and others aren't a part of the quote-unquote Mandoverse per se, but it's a part of its own timeline. Now, when we look at everything related to Gina Carano, we already know that she respects the fans. She knows that the fans have always wanted more and more Legends to become a part of the universe. She's even said this before in the past that she believes that the fans need a little bit more of their word to count on how the writers handle the Star Wars franchise. And when you look at everything related to what Kathleen Kennedy has done with the sequel trilogy, with, of course, the solo movies out there, and how she has really handled the lore poorly, we can see that John and Dave are really trying their absolute hardest to really clean up the mess of what she left behind. Now, so far, I know that the Book of Boba Fett has had mixed reactions, so to speak, you know, with chapters 1 through 3. Chapter 4 by Kevin, alright, the new director, I think he did a great job. And we're going to have, you know, other directors coming on board, like Dave Filoni. I believe he's doing chapter 6, or is chapter 6. I'm not quite sure. It might be chapter 5. But Dave Filoni is involved, Bryce Dallas Howard, and others out there for the Book of Boba and new Star Wars TV shows. Anyways, moving on from all of this, alright? Now, Carano also convinced Favreau and Filoni to give the fans a brand new version of Luke Skywalker's Jedi training temple, much like the one in Legends. Carano is said to have acted as a messenger in a sense to Favreau and Filoni on what the fans want to see, given that she is the one actress that really communicates with the fans. Now, because of Carano, a full-fledged scene for Mando Season 4 is already planned that will involve a new Jedi temple that belongs to Luke on Yavin 4. Favreau and Filoni are essentially using Carano to use her as an aid to fulfill many of the fans' wants and needs for Star Wars. Aside from this, another scene that is planned to be filmed sometime later this year for Mandalorian Season 4 is set to involve an in-depth scene between both Cara Dune and Luke Skywalker that is planned and was pitched by Gina Carano to John and Dave Filoni. The scene that is in the works is said to be a moment in which Cara Dune delivers secret intel about Grand Admiral Thrawn to Skywalker and how it will aid in both Luke and Ahsoka's quests to hunting down and confronting Grand Admiral Thrawn. Now, Mando Season 4 is said to have a time jump, but will hold flashbacks similar to how the Book of Boba utilized it all in the first batch of episodes. Gina Carano is described to be very excited to return as Cara Dune in Season 4, as these plans are all still being finalized between John, Dave, and the Disney higher-ups. Many beloved key sequences that are planned by John and Dave were thankfully picked up on all because, of course, Gina Carano pitching concepts and requests by the fandom directed back toward John and Dave to handle inserting those concepts into live-action form. So once again, I mean, this is a great example that Gina likes to pay attention to the fans and really likes to deliver those ideas and concepts by the fans back to John and Dave. And I think it's one of the main reasons as to why, you know, the Book of Boba Fett so far is really picking up, and why, you know, John and Dave really do believe that the fans do matter. You know, at the end of the day, you have to remember that it's the hardcore fans especially that really kept Star Wars alive after the originals and the prequels. I mean, these are the people that bought the prequel trilogy merchandise, the original trilogy merchandise, and everything that had to do with Star Wars Legends, you know, the books, the comics, the novels. I mean, it was the hardcore fans that really kept this thing living even after those movies and before Disney took over Lucasfilm. So now we're in a similar boat. We see that John and Dave, that they are people that realize that, and they want to turn things around for the better, and they really want to pay respect to the fandom. And that's another thing that I really have to give them a lot of credit for. The fact that they are doing this very much on a genuine scale, out of pure generosity. This is not like them just doing their job or just a paycheck to them. This is what they love to do, and this is what they are actually trying to achieve in order to not only create their own legacy, but to better the Star Wars community to reunite once again. So I think that they're doing an excellent job on that front, and it's only going to get better and better from this point on forward. So anyways, guys, you know, drop a comment below. Let me know about all this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.